Today, Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner will represent the United States in Paris for Ukraine peace talks, where security guarantees will be a major topic of discussion. Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky is arriving in Paris at a critical moment for his government after making major changes inside his administration, including in the intelligence services. And this is all happening, of course, right after the U.S. flexed its military muscle against one of Moscow's key allies, capturing Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro. U.S. Ambassador to NATO, Matthew Whitaker, joins me now. Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for joining us. So let's briefly begin with what is happening today with this meeting in Paris, where security guarantees are going to be the topic of conversation. What can you tell us about what we can expect?
What we should expect is really a finalization of a couple agreements. One is the Coalition of the Willing, which is about 50 allied countries, many of them in NATO, are going to, agree to a certain security framework for Ukraine, and so is the United States, both as part of that Coalition of the Willing and separately. And so that negotiation is going to be finalized. I'm guessing that those documents will ultimately be entered into very soon between Ukraine and the Coalition of the Willing and all the partners. And at the same time, that then frees up the Ukrainians and President Zelensky to go and make the final deal as part of the 20-point plan with Russia. And so, we're really very far down the road. This is a great development, and we could be on the cusp of a peace deal. And so, while we continue to pray for peace, we're also doing all the hard work to make sure we can sustain that peace.
Yeah, which would certainly be remarkable news and welcome to so many. We're being told that Marco Rubio will not be at this meeting for obvious reasons. Of course, those reasons being the situation in Venezuela. How much of a blow to Russia is the capture of Nicolas Maduro, and why?
Well, I think, first of all, it's a big win for the United States of America and the security of the Western Hemisphere. I think any adversary of the United States should be concerned about what they saw the United States do, because one, it demonstrated capabilities that no other country can execute, and at the same time, it demonstrates that the United States, when the president says something, when we draw a red line, that we're willing to enforce that with our power, and that to me is what ensures peace through strength. And at the same time, it backs up the president and what he says. And we contrast that to Obama's red line with Syria, where nothing happened. And then with President Trump's red line, when he says something, you end up with things like Midnight Hammer and what happened to President Maduro.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned Midnight Hammer, because I want to talk about this situation in Iran, where there have been days of protests over the horrific state of the economy. And the Ayatollah there has already reportedly planned an exit strategy to Moscow if these protests continue. Here is President Trump with his thoughts on this situation. Watch this.
We're watching it very closely. If they start killing people like they have in the past, I think they're going to get hit very hard by the United States.
And Mr. Ambassador, one human rights group is now reporting that 1,200 people have been detained in Iran. 35 have been killed, including 4 children. So that message by President Trump, has whole new meaning now that Nicolas Maduro has been captured. How do you think this round of protesting will end? Do you foresee a second dictator exiting their country over the course of several days, either by force or fleeing to Moscow?
Well, first of all, Carly, I don't want to speculate in what the future is for Iran or its leaders, but I can tell you the Iranian people want to be free, and they have been repressed for a long time. Obviously, it's a country of great potential that has not realized anywhere close to the potential over the last 40 or 50 years under this very difficult regime that has punished its people. And so, the people of Iran are speaking. They want freedom, and most importantly, they want things that all of the democracy in the world provide their citizens. They want a voice. They want free speech. They want free press. All of the values that we stand for and our allies stand for. So I don't want to get ahead of the president. He is the decider in chief, and he's going to. He's already, again, he's laid out a red line. He does not want the citizens of Iran to die because of their protests. And so I think that's a pretty clear marker that should be listened to.
U.S. Ambassador to NATO, Matt Whitaker, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us.
Great to see you, Carly. Thank you.